All right, hey guys, as promised, here is the video as we look real quick as how a bill becomes a law. I'm going to try real hard to keep this video under 6 minutes, so here we go. Who can propose a law? Anyone can propose an idea for a law. However, only a member of Congress can take that proposed law to the House of Representatives, to the Senate. All right, so you got to be in Congress to actually make it happen. But anyone can suggest it to them. Anyone can propose it. There we go. This will be a useful image if you look in the slides for the board game assignment you're going to look at, but we're not going to worry about that for now. What happens first? A member of the Senate comes forward, or a member of the House. They submit the bill to the House or Senate. The bill is assigned to a number, which begins with HR for House or S for Senate. The bill is sent to the appropriate committee. So there's committees that deal with like every little possible issue that the country faces. Someone proposes a bill, it goes to that committee, and the committee kind of like hammers out all the details. Most major bills are going to go before a standing committee, like we talked about in the first video. These standing committees are the ones that handle, like I said, the most important issues. A lot of the times what will happen is a bill will go before like a big committee, like a big broad committee like education, and then it will go to a subcommittee that deals with like special education or high school. And those committees will build subcommittees on subcommittees on subcommittees. It's a mess sometimes. All right. So in these subcommittees, what's going to happen is they're going to talk about it, work out the issues, and sometimes they may even decide that the bill isn't going to happen. They'll say we don't have enough support, and they'll kill it right there. That's not always the case. If it gets worked out, they'll vote on it in the committee. The committee, when they vote, they'll say, all right, this is how we want to send it before the full Congress. If it passes, it gets sent on back to the standing committee. Remember, that was the big, broad umbrella committee. That standing committee, they discuss the bill, they vote on it, decide if they're going to accept it, and if it passes, it goes on to the floor or back to the subcommittee if they decide not to pass it. All right, so if it passes at the standing committee level, it goes to the floor of either the House or the Senate, wherever the bill started. If it goes to the House, the Speaker of the House will decide how long it'll be talked about. It'll be brought up, it'll be discussed for however long it's given, and then voted on. The Senate will break down the bill and talk about it, and they can talk for it for however long they decide to talk about it. They can talk on forever if they want to. So yeah, like I said, when things are debated in the House, there's a time limit. You only get to speak for however long as you're given. You're invited to speak in the House. In the Senate, they have what's called the filibuster, and everyone can debate for however long they want. All right. In order to make it to the next phase of becoming a law, all right, a bill has to be passed by both the House and the Senate. So if it's made it through the committee process and it makes it to the floor, whichever house it started in, it has to be voted on in that house, either the Senate or the House of Representatives. All right. It gets voted on. If it passes, it goes to the other. It then goes through the same process in the other house. They vote on it. If it passes, it goes on to the president. If it fails, it goes back to the other house. Now, to try and work this thing out, if there are some differences of opinion, which I'm sure there always are, what can happen is what's called a conference committee, and that's when members of the House of Representatives meet with members of the Senate, and they try and work it out so that it'll pass in both houses. This is where a lot of compromises happen, folks. This is where things start to really change and really start happening. All right, once that committee makes its decisions to try and work out any kinks, it goes back to the floor. It's got to be voted on again. There's a lot of voting. Can you see that? Gets voted on again, and then it goes to the president. The president has 4 options. He can sign it into a law, and it becomes law for everyone. It can become law without a signature. So if it passes in Congress, it passes in both houses, the president has 10 days to sign it. If he doesn't sign it, it automatically becomes a law. Or He can veto that thing. He can say nope. If he says no, it can go back to Congress and they can vote on it again. If 2/3 of both houses pass the bill, they can override the veto. That's very rare, but it does happen. It only happened once to Barack Obama, and it never happened to George Bush before him. It's a very rare thing. It's a big deal when this happens. The other option that he has is what's called a pocket veto, which is essentially he can ignore it. And if Congress isn't in session, if they take a break and he ignores it, it will not become a law. All right, folks. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that video was under 5 minutes. If not, I'm so sorry, but thanks for sticking with me. I hope this helps as you work on your board game.